Welcome to the Lynch Motion Servo Erector Set. This kit is designed around 5 pre-designed robots, a quadruped, a biped, a robotic arm, a servo-driven rover, a hexapod, and allows you the flexibility of being able to adapt any of these robots or design and build any robots of your own. Inside this kit, you'll see that the top level contains all the mechanical components and all the hardware components that you'll need to be able to build these 5 robots, as well as edit them to create your own robots, or again create robots of your own choosing. You'll see one of the main components are these high-tech servo brackets. These high-tech servo brackets have a hole pattern on them that is designed to fit the servo's horn and the servo body themselves. These servo brackets are designed specifically to fit the high-tech servos that come with this kit, as well as be expandable for you to purchase any other high-tech servos of your choosing later on. These are the micro servo brackets. You also have a couple of other sizes to fit some of the other servos that are inside this kit. You'll also see that you get 2 different sizes of aluminum tubing and the aluminum hubs that allow you to connect these aluminum tubes to the pre-designed patterning for each one of the other components. You'll see that these offset angle brackets have the same hole patterning as each one of the other parts that will allow you to connect them in any configuration that the design calls for, or any configuration that you wish. You'll also see that you get a set of rubber feet that fit these tubes snugly, so that you can design them to have feet, or you can design some grippers, some pinchers, whatever it is that you need to be able to design using these aluminum tubes and rubber caps. For feet, you also have these 2 large plates that again maintain the same hole patterning that will allow you to create a larger base for things like the biped robot or the walking robot, to give them a stance that's more stable. You have these C brackets that are used for a wide variety of applications. Again, being able to make servos go into different directions, being able to mount multiple servos at the same time. You also have these L brackets that give you the flexibility of being able to have a lot of different configurations, but you will notice that you have 2 different lengths of the legs, and you want to make note of that as you are trying to follow some of the instructions for the pre-designed robots. Over here in this front corner, along with the rubber feet, you also have some aluminum channel. You have 2 different size aluminum brackets, specifically designed for building the main body of the robotic arm. As well as in the bottom here, you have the 2 larger servo high-tech brackets. You have the largest one, and you have the medium-sized one. You also have the rotary base for being able to design the AL5 arm, and inside the rotary base is where your gripper is. Your gripper is inside this bag, and you'll attach one of the servos to this gripper to be able to drive this servo. Also underneath the base, you'll see that you have the 2 larger rover wheels and the rubber bands to go on those to give you traction, as well as the smaller dolly wheel. You'll also notice up in the front corner you have a bag of all of the hardware that's necessary: nuts, bolts, lock washers, self-tapping screws, plastic standoffs, aluminum standoffs, and rivets that will allow you to build the 5 pre-designed robots, as well as give you the flexibility of being able to redesign those robots and design robots of your own. You also have 2 smaller specialty brackets that are used for things like mounting your switches and electrical outlets for some of the different configurations.
After you take this out, you'll find that there are some more structural components. These structural components are used for the chassis for some of the different robots, and they're made out of extruded polycarbonate. It's black plastic, but this has been laser cut, and this is a protective coating that can be pulled off. These are for the hex, and these are for the quadruped. And what you're going to have to do to each of these pieces is to pull these out and punch out all the laser cut markings, all these little, where the holes go. I would clean up the edges with some soap and water, and then you'll be able to peel this off, and you'll see that these are nice, clear, black plastic. And these are some smaller chassis parts for some of the other various robots and for other different things, just smaller pieces. This is the Phlebotic Studio software that comes with it that allows you to control all of your different robots using this software on the computer. Do not throw the sleeve out, because on the back of it is your serial key that you have to type in to register the software. Also, before you get too far ahead, you might want to take this battery out and this charger, plug the two in, and plug that into the wall so that as you're building your first robot, your battery's charging. And if you ever want to power your robot without batteries, you can use this transformer to plug it in directly. Also, you're going to want to get some AAA batteries and a 9-volt battery for your robots. Now what you see in the box are all of the servos, or the motors that drive all of your different robots. These are HS422s, and they're different than these 9, which are HS645MGs. The HS645MGs have metal gears, and they're a little bit higher torque than the other ones, and they're just better for different applications. It also comes with a 755 HB, which is a quarter scale servo, which is larger, you can tell by the size of the box, and even bigger yet is this mega quarter scale servo. These two servos are special in that they are continuous rotation, and they're made to spin all the way around, whereas a regular servo only goes about 170 degrees to 190 degrees. These servos will spin all the way around, allowing you to use them as motors on one of the robots that you're going to build later on. And here's how they work with one of the mechanical brackets. When you open up your servo, you'll see that it comes with a bunch of extra horns. You probably want to save those for different projects down the road. And here's our servo bracket, and here's our servo. And the way this works is this can be put into this bracket just like so, and mounted in many different orientations so that your robot can do different things. Inside this white box are a lot of the electronic components. Inside this bag, it comes with all of the different switches and power connectors for your robot, as well as different jumper wires for some of the servos, your programming cable, and some zip ties to keep all of your wiring neat. Two of the main components that I want to talk about inside this box are the SSC32. The SSC32 is the Lynx Motion servo controller, and it will control up to 32 different servos. All of your servos get plugged into these ports along both edges, and that's what kind of makes your robot work. It has a serial connector on the end to communicate with the computer, and has power connectors on this end so that you can power all the different servos and inputs and outputs for your robots. This is the BotBoardUino, which is an Arduino-based microcontroller that helps control your robot as well. It has many, many different inputs and outputs as well. It has a power block over here, and it's run by a USB that can plug into your computer. It also has some inputs over here, which are switches, and also has a piezo buzzer as an output. This is the wireless PS2 controller by Lynx Motion, and it allows you to control your robots wirelessly with these joystick type controllers and all these different controllers on here. This connects with your robot wirelessly via this receiver, and this receiver mounts on your robot, and then you can control it with this. It also comes with some other adapters that allow you to plug it into your computer so you can run things on your computer with it. So it comes with a computer adapter. And it also comes with this adapter, which allows you to connect this controller to the botboard Arduino on the robot.
To finish out your servo erector set, you'll notice that you also have a sensor inside this box that is an infrared range sensor. And you also have the ability to talk to your robot wirelessly. You're going to need two components for that. Your first component is going to allow you to plug directly into the SSC32. So you have this carrier controller that will allow you to plug directly into the SSC32. And then you have a Bluetooth B made by DF Robotics that will allow you to plug directly into the top of that. Push your pins directly in, and now you can talk wirelessly to your robot. If your computer does not have Bluetooth built into it, Lynx Motion has also provided you a Bluetooth dongle that will allow you to load the drivers for your computer and allow you to communicate directly to it through this Bluetooth connection.